Even the title of this video grabs your attention, maybe even stirs a little fear. Because when we say night, darkness is the first thing that comes to mind. Night wraps both good and evil in its shadowy veil. A person we meet, an event we witness, in the night, is it a blessing or a curse? We can't quite tell. That's why we're afraid. We want to run, to find shelter, somewhere safe. But let me ask you this. What if, even in daylight, we're still inside the night? What if there's nowhere to run? What if the entire universe has always been one endless night? What would you say then? Let's explain this with a simple example. You walk into a dark room. The first thing you do is reach for the light switch. You turn it on. The room lights up. When you leave, you flip the switch again, and the room returns to darkness. In the morning, you pull back the curtains. Natural light pours in. This is the simplest form of the relationship between light and darkness. Now, let's scale this up to the universe. Imagine we have a giant switch in our hands, and when we press it, every star in the cosmos goes out. Everything is swallowed by darkness. That moment is the clearest sign that our universe is, in fact, in its night phase. It's the simplest yet most striking example that we've existed inside a night from the very beginning. Stars are like tiny lanterns piercing through this vast darkness. And in the Qur'an, God refers to stars as lanterns because the foundation of the universe is night. We were given these lanterns so we could find our way through the dark. Pay close attention to this verse from Surah An-Naba. We made the night a cover. We made the day a time for livelihood. We built above you 7 strong heavens, and we created a shining lantern. So when the Quran calls stars lanterns, it's not just a metaphor. It's speaking the truth itself. We are truly living inside a dark universe. I can almost hear everyone watching this video say, "Ah, that's true." But here's the twist. Our ancestors, the ones we often dismiss as primitive, already knew this thousands of years ago. How's that possible? No telescopes, no observatories, no satellites, and yet they knew. So where did they get this knowledge? There are 2 possibilities. Either intelligent beings like the Anunnaki came and told them, or there was a divine flow of information. You won't find a line in the Sumerian tablets that says, "The universe is in its night phase." But look at ancient Greek mythology. There you'll find powerful figures that speak this truth. The goddess of night, Nyx. In ancient belief, she was seen as the embodiment of the universe itself. Her son, Ether, symbolized light, the sacred sky, completely free from darkness. To the ancients, that higher realm was the dwelling place of gods. But in reality, those heavens are filled only with angels under God's command. According to ancient belief, Nyx's darkness holds both good and evil, and we mortals, we live in a universe ruled by Nyx. Together with Erebus, the primordial darkness, Nyx is one of the oldest symbols of creation. She reminds us of the first universe after the Big Bang, a time of absolute darkness before even the stars were born. Nyx and Erebus had another child, Hemera, the daylight. When Hemera arrives, Nyx fades. When Nyx returns, Hemera disappears. But remember this, Nyx is always the stronger one, so powerful that even Zeus, the other symbolic god, fears only her. And here's a small note. Ancient Greek civilization emerged around 750 BCE. That's nearly 2,000 years after Judaism and the Torah, which means this knowledge of cosmic night in Greek myth likely traces back to a much older divine source. Since this knowledge of cosmic night in ancient Greece emerged at least 2,000 years after the Torah, let's turn to the original source, the book of Bereshit. In the Hebrew text, it says, Elohim called the light Yom, day. He called the darkness Layla, night. And there was evening, and there was morning, one day. Here's a crucial detail. The day begins with night. Even today, in Jewish tradition, days begin at sunset. For example, Shabbat starts on Friday evening and ends on Saturday evening. The Bible echoes the same truth. God called the light day and the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. And it adds, God placed two great lights in the sky, the greater to rule the day, the lesser to rule the night. And he made the stars. So look closely. The Torah, the Bible, they're all telling the same truth. So what matters most for Muslims? What does the Quran say about all this? In Surah Al-Imran, God declares, He sent down the book to you in truth. He had already sent down the Torah and the Gospel, and He also sent down the criterion. The Quran confirms the earlier scriptures, but it doesn't stop there. It offers a far deeper explanation about night and stars. In Surah Fussilat, God says, We adorned the sky of the world with lanterns, and we protected it. And in Surah Al-Mulk, we decorated the nearest heaven with lanterns. So stars are not just sources of light. They are also signs of protection. And don't forget, even the Quran itself was revealed at night, on the night of Qadr. We sent it down on the night of Qadr. The night of Qadr is better than 1,000 months. On that night, angels and the Spirit descend, and peace fills the night until the break of dawn. Do you see? God chose night to deliver His final message to humanity, because night is far deeper, far more meaningful than we ever imagined. But perhaps the most striking of all are two short chapters in the Quran, Al-Layl and Al-Fajr. We may have read them many times, but did we ever truly pay attention? Al-Layl means the fullness of night. Al-Fajr is that brief moment when night ends, when the horizon begins to glow. Surah Al-Layl feels like a general warning, but when we reach Surah Al-Fajr, the tone shifts. There, God says, By the brightening day and the retreating night, O soul at peace, return to your Lord. Enter my paradise. This clearly shows the time of dawn is near. The great awakening is approaching. In Surah Qaf, the Day of Judgment is described like this. On that day, we lift the veil, and your sight will be sharp. the curtain of darkness will be removed, and everything will be revealed, bare and clear. The Quran reminds us, night and stars are not just cosmic facts. They are signs of God's measure, His balance, His dominion. Because without night, light has no meaning. Without night, there is no day. And as we live within the night, we are, in truth, preparing for the day, for that great awakening. We see the measure of night even in the narratives of destruction. Take the people of Ad. Their downfall lasted exactly 7 nights and 8 days. The calamity began during the day, just like the day of judgment is said to arrive at Fajr, that fragile moment when the horizon begins to glow. By the 8th night, it was all over. And because life on earth continued, the next beginning started again with night. This shows us something profound. God's order operates like mathematics. The destruction of Ad is not just a historical event. It's a living testament to the sacred balance woven into creation. The people of Lot were also destroyed at dawn, in that delicate threshold between night and day. And that timing was no accident. In God's actions, there is always measure, always order. Whether we choose to see it or not, this order keeps unfolding, just like in mathematics, where each step confirms the one before it. In God's universe, every event affirms another. And finally, the day of reckoning. That moment we will understand. The stars, the night, the day, the destruction of ancient peoples, and the final judgment. None of it is random. Each one belongs to the same system. Each one is part of the same divine measure. The stars will shine like lanterns. The stories of Ad and Lot will continue to remind us of that measure. And at last, the night phase of the universe will come to an end, and the luminous, sacred, eternal sky, the hereafter, will declare its rule.